Never sleeps. It's hot outside in the desert, nice and cool in the Showboat. And staying real cool are our leaders, the Cookie Monster and his sidekick, Steve Cook and Mike Albee. They're going after a cool $25,000. ESPN, the Total Sports Network, and the Professional Bowlers Association presents the $125,000 Showboat Doubles Classic from the Showboat Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome back. Irv Brown, Mike Durbin in Las Vegas at the Showboat Hotel. The bowlers dressed in similar shirts. And Mike, I think the first thing that we ought to talk about, they bowl a game between them. Pick a lane, and that could be something if you zero in on a lane.
Exactly right. There won't be any crossing over or bowlers bowling on both lanes today. In our first match, Baker is going to be bowling on lane 59, and Berardi will bowl on lane 60. So all you have to do is get zeroed in on that one lane, and they're bowling a game together. Baker will bowl the first frame, Berardi will bowl the second. And so the only time one player can get a double at one time is in the 10th frame. You have to be a combination. That's why it's a double thing. Baker has had so much trouble lately, starting off right around that middle arrow. And he gets a break finally. Crossing over.
He says, hey, maybe it's going to be different today because this is an outstanding competitor, and he's been so good. He averaged 219 this week.
He was high single pinfall leader again this week. He was last week. He was in Denver. It's just been on television that he's had his problems.
All right, this is Warren Nelson. Very smooth.
Controlled player.
Yes,
very nice shot to start off with, though.
Self-taught, that is. He took a lesson from Ron Hoppy when we were up in Seattle, and apparently he's able to correct something that was bothering him, popping the head, not staying down, and
some players do get into that habit, Irv, of moving the head. One of the things that Marshall Holman does that makes him so great, and Earl Anthony did this, is they keep that head still throughout the approach. Just like in golf, you got to keep that head reasonably still. Trying for a double. Peterson on lane 59. And, oh, we talked about pocket splits at the outset of the show, but the 710 was not one that I was thinking of. What they call a swishing 710, where the head pin goes in front of the 7 pin, and usually the 5 pin goes behind it, and the 6 pin doesn't get out the 10. It's just a real bad break. All he can do is throw hard at one of these and hope to bounce him around.
Mike, I'm really surprised. I watched him warm up. He was dynamite on lane 60. Who makes the determination?
The two of them together. Maybe Nelson said to him, I can't hit 59 at all. And Peterson said, hey, I can hit both of them. Something like that might have happened. As he gets 9 out, and they give the team of Baker and Berardi an immediate 12-pin lead. Berardi can increase it to 22 with a double.
Berardi's in pain. He talked to you earlier. Something's wrong with his forearm.
Probably the tendons in his forearm. Yeah, he is in pain. You're right.
Joe Berardi. Here's a guy who ran the 109.9 when he was in high school. He quit track to concentrate on bowling.
Looks, oop, there it was. That inside line, the ball deflecting, leaving what we call a solid 5, but it's an easy spare. And you see him shaking his hand there. He has been bothered. I asked him what was wrong, and he said, didn't have a chance to talk to him about it, but he pointed to his forearm, and the tendons in that wrist and forearm is what I'm guessing.
All right, let's see if he can pick up the 5. And he's got it, so he keeps his team clean. And the team of Baker and Berardi, the 2Bs, lead it by 12.
And this week, as you mentioned already, Baker averaged 219. Well, Berardi only averaged 197. Berardi was what we call under. We use 200 as a par on the PBA Tour. So Baker really carried the team, and I was kind of looking forward to maybe Berardi carrying him on television. There's a light hit that Baker gets.
Great start. You know, we have seen him only in the championship game. He's been the #1 qualifier twice on TV. Maybe starting out like this, it's a different deal for him because it's been a tough couple of weeks.
It will be, if he can get by the first game. It's if you can get by that first game, get that win under your belt, you can relax a little bit, and suddenly the pressure's off. You've won a game on television. See, he won a couple years ago in Miami, and he has not won a game in the championship round since. As Nelson just drills lane 60.
Boy, he has got good hand action. I watched him last night, self-taught. Did a good job. He was a basketball player, started in high school. Talking about basketball, Randy Peterson played with Leon Wood, if that's a familiar name to our viewers. He was a #1 draft pick of the Philadelphia 76ers a year ago. Mike, he's in pain. He's got a callus that has been killing him. In fact, he said he put some aspirin cream on, and for the first time, it has felt good.
Well, he certainly has bowled well.
And he gets the 7.
Right.
All right. So the action is hot and heavy. And right now, Baker and Berardi by 2. We've got a lot more coming up. We're in Las Vegas. Stick around. Look at that reaction. We'll come back and watch this again. Well, this team of Peterson and Nelson leads by 9 thanks to the double that they were able to string together in lanes 3 and frames 3 and 4. Mike, we might point out too that there's no 300 game today. $25,000 from True Value Hardware, but not today with the doubles competition.
Right, figuring the player only has to throw 6 in a row for him. Got to make him throw 12 in a row to get the 300 game.
Got the strike going. Oh, the 10 will not drop.
Nelson and Peterson have bowled so well, 7 frames, and they've had every ball in the pocket. A 7-10 in the 2nd frame, solid 10 in the 5th, and this wiggling 10 pin here in the 7th frame. He needs to convert this to keep his team in the league. There can be no mistakes now. As we said at the top of the show, spares are very important today because they're just not stringing the strikes like they did last week.
We're talking about 300 games. Warren Nelson has 12 in his career.
Yeah, he can string those strikes.
He's got it, so he picks up the spare.
Warren Nelson is as calm as I've ever seen him today. He's very relaxed, very calm, throwing the ball extremely well.
I think that has a lot to do with doubles because there's safety in numbers. That's an old cliche, but I think it's true.
That may be true.
I've never seen Baker this relaxed. Look at him.
Yeah, he is relaxed, but Berardi is not.
No, it's been tough. Under 200, he's been funny about it. He said, "Am I getting heavy? Do you want some crutches?"
Yeah, he said to me last night he was going to put Baker in his will. High on the Brooklyn side. Leaves the 9 pin. Got a break there. No split. No penalty for the errant shot. That's their first errant shot of the entire match.
Young Randy Peterson. Let's take another look and pick up the end of it here, Mike.
He just sets this ball a little short. He crosses over to the Brooklyn side. He almost could have got a break for a strike and gets the 6 and 10 out of there, but just the 9 pin still stands. And he looks at it. He's satisfied with that kind of shot, getting 9.
Smooth release. And he says, "I'll take it."
It was almost a smooth whiff, I'll tell you.
All right, so Berardi is up. Excuse me.
And Berardi's asking for a re-rack. Our tournament director, Harry Golden, there, that you see in the dark jacket, is taking a look at it, and he has to okay if he's going to get that re-rack, and he's giving it to him. I've had times when I've been on national television asked for that re-rack, and he said no. So
he's got a tough job. Everybody's coming at him.
So they look at it. They like this one. What Joe will do is he'll say to Harry, he'll say, "Hey, the 3 pins off, or the 5 pins off, or the head pins off, or whatever he thinks is wrong with it," and then Goose will see whether he agrees. I refer to him as Gooses because he's affectionately known on the tour as Mother Goose. Trying for a double. And he gets it.
The best ball he's thrown today by far.
Absolutely. First one, he holds up that finger. I'll tell you what, though, the most important shot of the match is coming up right now. Mark Baker's got 4 strikes, but he's been Brooklyn twice and Light twice, and the pressure's on, and he has not responded very well in the past few weeks.
All right, let's see if he can do it.
This will put him up by 12 if he can strike here. Biggest shot of the match right here.
Come on, Baker.
And he's got it. Shot. Boys, 5 for 5.
And a turkey working for the team of Baker and Berardi. They have sucked up that 9-pin lead, and they lead now by 12.
And Baker's reaching over, massaging Berardi's back, trying to loosen him up for the 10th frame.
All right, let's see if the team of Peterson and Nelson can respond. They look alike. Nelson is older, but they're about the same size, almost same hairstyle, both with mustaches. All right, this is Nelson.
Has to have this one. Looks good.
Yes, looks very good. Great action.
Pretty shot. Interesting, you know, the team has the choice of who's going to be the anchor man, and they've taken the younger player in this case, Peterson, and said, "Hey, the weight of winning this match is on your shoulders.
I know you're an old baseball player. Remember when Kiner played left and Sauer played right for the Cubs, and the ball was hit, and wherever it went, they'd say, "It's all yours, Jeffcoat. He played in the middle."
He played in the middle.
All right, let's see what we've got going here now.
Peterson must have this one for them to have any chance. He's high. The 310.
How do you pick this up now?
He's going to move even further left. He's going to cross lane at it, try and hit the 3-pin on the right. If he makes it, they still have a chance. Berardi would have to mark in the 10th frame. If he can make this and get a strike, they finish with 196. And right now, Berardi and Baker are going at a 208 pace.
5-year tour member.
He's got to make
Peters. Let's see if he can pick it up.
No chance. And
so he leaves the 10.
And they've handed it to Berardi and Baker. All Berardi has to do now is stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lane. And it was just a lot of pressure for a young 23-year-old in his first championship round appearance.
And Mark Baker is going to have the monkey off his back. He's going to get one on TV.
Right.
All right, so
Berardi threw a very professional shot, put it right in the 1-3, left the 4-pin, and they're a winner right now. Even if he misses this, they're a winner. Cross lane at the 4-pin.
And he picks it up.
Joey's one of the better spare shooters on tour because he throws it 100 miles an hour at him. You don't even see the ball.
For 140 pounds, once again, he is a gentleman who has done so many chin-ups, and it's paid off. Very strong. Waiting for the team of Baker and Berardi. Boy, that'll help him get ready. There's the handshake. Baker and Berardi advance.
If Bellinger would strike here, Berardi and Baker could get up with the opportunity to get 2 strikes to even the match. 5-step player, short backswing, way out on the lane. Leaves the 4. The ball broke just a little bit early. A lot of 4-pins left this week also.
So, drama continues to build. Let's take a look at the 4-pin that he leaves, Mike.
Watch how far he gets it out on the lane. I think he throws it over the dots, which are 7 feet. Throws it out about 7 feet. 2-pin, 3rd from the left. Almost, it hits the 4, but it just didn't knock it over. It didn't hit it hard enough. And he's using right at that middle arrow that we talked about at the top of the show.
Keep in mind, Baker missed a 5-pin in the first. These are not gimmies.
Not anymore, the way these guys are shooting spares the last few weeks, but he makes it easily.
All right, let's see if Berardi can put some heat on. He started bowling 4 years of age. Person who really developed his style, Len Nicholson. And then a gentleman by the name of Sam Baca really overhauled it.
Both of them used to be part of the lane maintenance program out here. And Berardi's had 3 strikes on this lane 60s, 3 for 9, while Baker is 8 for 9. He's trying for his 4th.
Pretty good.
And he gets it. Big shot. Now again, the biggest shot of this second game is coming up right now with Mark Baker because they are down 9 pins. They can take the lead for the first time in the match if Baker, who is 8 for 9, can strike here in the 9th frame.
Isn't it gratifying, though, how Berardi has come on because of the butt of a few jokes all week long?
That's the experience. Berardi's tough.
Going for 5 in a row.
He's high, breaks it up, waved at it to move it right, and it wouldn't do.
Leaves a 6-10. But they're still right back in this thing. Must pick this spare up.
Absolutely. They're down 9. They're going to be down 11 if he makes the spare. He has to have a spare. We saw what happened last week. He missed 2 last week and missed the 5-pin today. So with Mark throwing, it's not a gimme. And he has it.
That up.
And he claps his hands and says, all right, a spare.
He's Peck's bad boy. Look at that face. He is a free spirit. Very, very popular. His hobbies, he's an avid sports fan, reading movies, and he's a girl watcher. And very proud of it. All right, Tommy Milton has done nothing.
Well, he had 1 spare
Clean.
last
He had
time.
the 1 spare. His team is clean.
Coming down to crunch time here in the 9th and 10th frame. And they've been in the pocket all the way through except for the 2nd frame.
All right, Tom's going back off. That's a good deal, isn't it? If
Well,
it doesn't feel right.
Whether I don't know whether it didn't feel right or whether he pinched a nerve in his thumb as he was going up there, you know, anymore. When I stopped in the approach, you know, I had that trouble with my back this week, and I've never had anything like that happen to me before, so.
Mike, I was going to ask you, I took a look at Randy Peterson's thumb, the callus. There's Judy Moore. We'll talk to her a little later on, next to Jack Cook. Judy has a son, 14 years old. Looks like he could play football right now for the Dallas Cowboys.
He's a big boy.
Yes, he is, and a good athlete, they tell me. All right, let's see what Milton can do.
Big shot here in the ninth frame. A little light, and gets a good action off the wall there.
Boy, that did look light.
That's the one they're looking for right there.
That could be the one.
Right now, the situation is that Baker and Berardi, the best they can get is 227. If Bellinger would get up and get a spare and a strike, he'd lock him out. We still have a potential tie. If he get up and get a spare and 9, he'd finish with 227. So it's still wide open. See what happens. A strike here is what Bellinger's looking for, because that'll lock him in. We see the scoreboard there, 188 to 177. Difference 11 pins. With Bellinger and Milton working on a strike in the ninth frame.
Bellinger's married. Wife is Phyllis. Kimberly Ann, his daughter. Let's see what he can do.
Way out on that lane. Looks good.
Yes.
Oh, he
Great
couldn't
shot.
have thrown it any better. He said yes.
Well, I like that reaction. Tough guy. There's a few high fives. Milton, who's so quiet, and
You see
Bellinger.
the difference between the two players? Bellinger with that fist clenched in the voice, yes, and Milton just cruising along.
You see Mark Baker working that gum in the background saying, well, if I'd only marked the first frame.
Even then, the way these guys
guys
have bowled, they bowled very strong game. Looked really good.
The team of Bellinger and Milton has 3 spares in this match. Other than that, it is all strikes. They lead by 21.
248 potential if he goes all the way. Boy, I'll tell you what, they're going to be right there. I think Jakes and White better have their strike shoes on.
They are clean. It's been all strikes other than the 2nd, 7th, and 8th. And they have strung them together. 4 in a row, now 3 in a row, and that's how you get your score.
Stringing strikes, the name of the game on the PBA Tour. What's so good, though, is that both bowlers are lined up on the lane that they're going to finish on. See, whiffs a head pin with that one. Gets 6, winds up with 244.
Strong game for Jeff Bellinger and Tom Milton. Tommy Milton, 2nd straight championship round appearance.
Berardi leaves the 5-7, just finishing it out. They bowled well, just not well enough.
And if nothing else, Mark Baker did accomplish something today. He gets a W on TV.
On TV, right.
Because it's been tough, and
That'll perk up his spirits a little bit anyway.
well, he's been tough. He just had been a mental thing, maybe.
I'm certain that that's what it has been, just a mental thing. Maybe it's removed now, and when he gets that opportunity again, he's going to win.
204 to 244. We've got a good one going. Maybe the best match that we have had this summer, because we've had some runaways. But right now, Bellinger and Milton trail by 8, going against a team of White and Jakes. Bellinger and Milton rolled to 244 at Baker and Berardi. All right, this is Tom Milton.
They had 8 strikes last match. They've only had 2 so far, both by Milton. Trying for one more on lane 60. Right there. Boy, he's just got that lane wired.
The determination of Tom Milton. Like, I really like what I see with him. 83 was his year. Really stumbled last year, and he's the first to admit it, that the lane conditions weren't that good. But take a look at this ball. He's done this the last 2 weeks that we've watched him.
Slow speed, a lot of turn, deep in the pocket. It just carries way up in there, and that 7-pin wanted to stand up again. It was the last one down. Trying for their first double now here. Bellinger, they can give him a 2-pin lead if he can double here.
Bellinger's left a couple of solid 10s. There's the pop.
It's there.
Yep.
No
Boy.
10-pin this time. He said yes.
Good pin action. It's not a high 5, it's kind of a low 5.
Right. Well, you don't give the high 5s until the game is over and you've won.
I like the way Bellinger gets excited. He's even getting Milton excited a little bit. And that's not easy to do, because Tom is a cool hand Luke.
Tom is cool. He's cool under the pressure, too.
All right, Dennis Jakes, big twister. We've got 3 of the bigger twisters and crankers on the tour here today.
Right there.
Oh, the
solid
10.
10. Good shot.
Tell us the difference between a cranker and a stroker. We talk about it.
Well, it's terms that have developed over the years on the tour. A cranker is somebody who turns the ball a lot, lifts it hard. As we watch Jake's here, he was a classic cranker, cupped wrist, a lot of turn. You see the side turn on the ball there as it leaves the solid 10-6, whistles around that 10 pin. He converted the spare, by the way, easily. The stroker is somebody who does just that to the bowling ball. He more or less strokes it. The ball hooks a little bit less. George Pappas is a good example of that.
You're a stroker. You're a down and in player.
Yeah, most of the strokers keep the ball straighter. I mean, they've got all kinds of names for guys out here now. They got guys that throw the ball in between called tweeners, and you know. And
remember the old days when you had active guys doing the pin setting, and boy, the crankers would hit them up in the rafters. The kids would be yelling. That's a tough job.
You're giving away your age now.
Yeah, that's right. All right, David White.
Needs
He's
this
clean.
strike in the 9th frame. Needs this.
They got
Great
it.
shot.
Oh, he's tough. Boy, I'm impressed with him. You're talking about Mr. X. He has not made a cent this year. He's going to make some money today. Averaged 209 this week. He came in averaging 194. Mike, that's something to say for practicing. He came down 3 days early and worked hard to hone his game.
Right now they trail by 3 pins. Milton getting up in the 9th frame with a 3-pin lead. Bellinger's and Milton's fate is in their own hand. They can strike out for a potential 239 and lock out White and Jakes.
Double going.
He's been almost perfect.
Coming in.
Oh,
Yep.
boy, oh boy.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful. Tommy Milton, a turkey for his team. They lead by 13.
Milton struck in the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th. In the first frame, he left the solid 7. I mean, he's just been absolutely perfect. Albie and Cook sitting over there. They don't. If Milton and Bellinger win this match, they're saying they don't know who to make finish or whatever. All they can do is play their own game and not worry about them.
Mike, your thoughts on the lane conditions, what you've observed versus all during the week?
It appears that the lanes are a little bit better today, or shall I say a little bit higher scoring. They're getting a nice reaction between the 3rd and 4th arrow. At least the guys that like Milton, who throws that soft speed with a lot of turn. Bellinger backs off again.
10th frame, going for 4 in a row.
Big shot. This is the biggest shot of his career, really, right here.
Yep.
Trips that 4-pin out of there as Jakes reacts more to it than Bellinger did.
Come out of that tunnel you're in, Jeff, and get excited. I like that.
Right now, the situation is Bellinger needs 8 or more in a spare. If he gets 8 in a spare, they're going to be a winner.
Keep in mind now, they've beaten Baker and Berardi with a 244. They're trying to go against the 2 left-handers who are practicing to our right, Albie and Cook.
If he gets 9 here, he's an automatic winner. 7 or less, we could still have a potential tie.
Looks good.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. That's it.
Oh, did he close him out?
And Jakes is putting his hand on his face to say, hey, wait a minute, that first shot went wider than that shot did. That was what we call the fallback shot there. He got that ball in a little bit further left with more speed, and the ball just held pocket all the way.
Bellinger really with a closing effort here in the 10th.
244 and 239. They look pretty good. I'll tell you what, 8 strikes the first match, and they're going to have, what, they got 5 in a row, 7. They could have 8 this match. 7. He throws those bad counts in the right place on
He
the
sure
fill ball.
does. A solid 236. You tack that on that 244.
Jakes and White bowled well. It's just that Bellinger, Milton are bowling super. Jakes just throwing the shot just to finish out the game. He can't win. Leaves the 4-6. They'll finish in the 190s. 9 out. Finishes with 194. Jakes and Milton win easy.
So
Milton and Bellinger, rather.
they earn $9,000. We're coming up for the big one. $25,000 at stake. Bellinger and Milton going against the family, Albie and Cook.
And they've chosen to have Albie start the match, and Cook is going to be the pressure finisher. He's going to bowl on lane 60, Albie on 59, and I'm sure Bellinger and Milton are going to go like they had. It's interesting. I would have tried maybe to reverse and make Milton finish or something, although the way Milton's 8 for 10, you can't do that either. So, I mean, kind of caught between the devil and the deep blue sea here.
10 titles for this gentleman, $514,000 career earnings. He is tough. We saw him in Denver.
And he nudges that 7-pin out, as Billy Whalen used to say, the tender touch.
A tender touch is true. That's a nice start for left-handed shooting Mike Albee. This is Tom Milton.
And Milton has just been impenetrable. Just throwing every ball. He's left a 10-pin and a solid 7. The rest are strikes.
The difference is $6,000 per man, 25 for first.
And everybody here is
second.
eligible for the Tournament of Champions except Bellinger. So it is more important to him, and he's going to be the one finishing in the 10th frame. But we've seen him come through 2 games in a row. Milton back in the pocket.
Oh, is he tough? Oh, Tom Milton.
And he ran out a little bit that time, boy.
He's getting excited.
Yes, they are.
Jeff Bellinger. What about Jeff Bellinger? He closed him out in the 10th. He had the 2 strikes because there was nothing wrong with David White and Dennis Jake's effort.
And he came up to me in between. He said, well, he says, can you say hello to my wife, Phyllis, and my daughter, Kimberly? And I said, well,
All
Jeff.
you got to do is win.
I said, Jeff, if you win this game, you can say hello to him yourself. But we'll say hello to him just
no,
to play safe.
let's put the pressure on him. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, Kimberly.
Trying for a double here.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Falls off balance a little bit. It's high. Brooklyn, he gets away with it. He says, all right now.
I like it when he gets excited. 1982, he made the TV finals 4 times. All right, let's take a look at the crossover or the Brooklyn.
He right shoulder, he falls off balance to the right. The ball's left to target, goes over on the Brooklyn side. A solid strike. What a break there. He almost left a 10-pin.
All right, here is one of the biggest crankers on the tour, if not the biggest. Steve Cook.
The thing to watch with Steve Cook is how he cups that ball at the peak of his backswing. When that ball gets up to the top of that backswing, his wrist is just wrapped around. It's unbelievable to me how these guys can do things like that. Trying for a double. Has it.
6'7", 240 pounds, Steve Cook.
He's got to be careful with those high fives. He doesn't knock Mike right over, you know.
Steve Cook was a power-hitting first baseman in high school. Pretty good little school there, too. Randy Lersch, time in the bigs, a teammate. Steve owes it all to Louis Fernandez, a coach who got him out of a slump, and apparently he was really hurting mentally. And Louis Fernandez was able to work with his release, work with his approach. Now he feels good about the game.
I'll be trying for 3.
Oh.
6-pin. Boy, that ball just snapped hard at the end. You see, Albee doesn't quite throw the speed that Cook does. You know, Cook has, of course, he's a much bigger man.
Albee 145 and Cook is 240.
Although, you know, Berardi was on the show earlier, throws it as hard as anybody at those spares, and he's not big by any stretch of the imagination.
It's really timing and release. We saw young Jim Harvey last week up in Dublin, and he just has such a quick approach and release. I think we'll hear more of him. He looked very good to me last week.
He looked very good on the show. Cross lane at the 6-pin. No mistakes here now, fellas. Has it easily.
Picks it up. He's had a tough time with the 7-pin, hasn't he?
Both of them have.
Yeah.
Both of them have.
Tough for a lefty. All right, Tom Milton. His team working on a double. Tom Milton has earned $20,000 this year. Last year, he earned $29,000. A much better year going for him. His year was 83.
Well,
Beat Earl Anthony. That's not easy.
Doubled in the 10th to do it, too. Trying to take the lead here. They're up by 1. Can increase it to 11.
Coming in. Yep.
Oh, solid 8. I don't believe it.
He doesn't
They
either.
get the break with the Brooklyn in the 2nd frame, and it comes right back with a solid 8 in the 3rd. And the bowlers, pet little phrase when it comes out, they say, well, who didn't know that right now?
How did this pin stay up? Look at the hit here, Mike.
And the ball is just holding pocket all the way. It didn't go out and finish. It's just holding here, and it chops the 5 straight back off the 8. Just a shock when that pin stands like it does. And it's said that it's the only true tap in bowling. I personally have never believed that, but
Very important to concentrate now and stay clean.
make that spare right, Irv. He has
And
it,
he
no
has
problem.
it easily. So Tom Milton keeps his team clean.
And the match is even.
Fourth frame action.
Right now, Bellinger has to guard against there being a letdown after that bad break and some kind of split or something popping up here. He needs to get him right back on track with a strike.
Jeff has earned $153,000 in his 6-year career. Little high.
See, just exactly what I was thinking. The 3-9-10. It's just a slight letdown in concentration after a bad break like that, and this is the result.
All right, the 3-9-10. Is it possible to pick it up?
Yes, it is. He'll move left. He'll try and hit the 3-pin on the right, and the ball has to drive through and split the 9-10. With a strong ball like he has, it's a definite possibility.
And he will move over to
He'll
his left.
move to his left a little bit more, and he's asking for Harry Golden to come over. Evidently, maybe the machine set the pins down off spot.
And you heard him, 3 pins off to the right. Now, what does Harry have to decide here?
Harry has to decide, first of all, whether he's right. Sometimes the machine will pick the spare up. There's scissors back there that hold it, and when it sets it back down, it's not quite on the spot. There's spots back there that the ABC puts in there for each pin to go on. So what he'll have to have done right now is the mechanic from the back will have to pick that 3-pin up by hand and put it right on the spot. And Jeff has the right to ask for this to be done even in the middle of a match like this, and it takes sometimes a lot of nerve, a lot of guts, a lot of moxie to just hold up play like this. You know, sometimes if you're a little timid or reserved, you can say, well, I'll go ahead and shoot it. But no, he's saying, hey, put it right on spot and give me my best shot at it.
Well, at stake for him and his partners is the difference between $25,000 and $13,000. And I like it that he had the courage to hang in there and not worry about what anybody thinks.
Absolutely, but more important, see, he's not eligible for the Firestone Tournament of Champions, right, and that's what he wants. He's put that down as his goal.
3-9-10. Let's see if he can pick it up.
Too much 3-pin.
Yep.
Hooked up too flush, and they fall behind.
All right, so the first open of the match happens for Milton and Bellinger. Albee and Cook are still clean. They lead it by 14. We'll be back. Consistent Mike Albee, 25 years of age, strictly a bowler. Since 11.
Up by 14, trying to increase it to 24.
Oh, the
7-pin keeps Milton and Bellinger in the match. Right now, Bellinger is the key to this match.
Take a look as a guy who works so well with the junior leaguers leaves a 7.
Right over target. The ball comes in half pocket, and we watch the 4-pin, second from the left. Goes to the wall and tried to get out, just missed it. I mean, just that little difference there.
It's a tough spare for him.
They've missed a lot of 7-pins this week.
This is no gimme.
He's got it.
Yep. They stay clean.
Big thing. 14 pins, the difference right now.
Keep in mind that Bellinger had an open in the 4th. Let's see if Milton can give his team a lift. 5th frame action, down by 14 pins. $25,000 first prize, 13 for the runner-up.
Milton, who's 9 for 12 in this right lane. The only time he's failed, he had a 10, 7, and an 8. All of them solid. But he coughed right in the middle of his approach, but...
Oh, the 7.
4-pin.
4-pin, I beg your pardon. Well, you pick up everything. Somebody coughed and you... I guess you're...
Unfortunately, I got those rabbit ears and I hear things like that, so... 4-pin, relatively easy spare. Milton should have no trouble with it, but he's making sure of it. He's taking his time. Last week he missed the 4-7. Of course, he was shooting 2 pins of a split. He left the 4-7-6. Has the spare easily.
So he picks up the mark in the 5th.
As I said earlier, I think the key to this match right now is Jeff Bellinger. He's been Brooklyn on this lane and right through the heart of the pins. He's got to make the adjustment to put the ball in the 1-3 pocket, and he's got to do it now. They're down by 14. If he can strike here, Milton is still just drilling that right lane. Moved moved a little deeper. It's high again.
High.
3-10 and knocked out the 10 pin, lift the 3, and now he doesn't know what to do. See, he made an adjustment there, and it didn't work.
He did not like it. Leaves the 3. Look at his reaction, Mike.
He's happy that the split broke up. Now, what he should do is practice on this 3 pin, but he's not doing it. He's throwing the ball straight at it. I would practice, I think, on this. No, he just threw it straight out to cover the spare and just barely got it.
Very fortunate.
He didn't want to take the chance on missing that 3 pin by practicing at it. Cook pounding that rosin on that ball as he does so many times. Wipes that ball off. See him pound that rosin on the finger holes and thumb hole. It's a PBA rule, by the way, that he has to wipe that off. Can't just leave it there. It's a foreign substance on the ball, so he wipes it off.
This is the Cookie Monster. He has 17 300 games. He had one this year at the True Value Open in Peoria, Illinois.
I might mention the reason he puts that rosin there in the holes is to improve the grip, just so he gets a little bit better grip.
Spare going. His team is still clean.
Gives it a lot of room.
Oh!
And leaves a swish in 7-10, and boy, we've got a close match.
We have a new ball game.
We have an absolute new ball game. That was, what a bad break that was.
Let's take a look.
Watch it here. Watch the head pin and the 5 pin if we can watch both of them together. The ball goes out and comes in light, and it'll hit both the 1 and the 5. And the 1 goes in front of the 10 while the 5 goes behind it, and the 4 misses the 7.
Now, do you just go and make sure you get your pin count here?
Yeah, but he's going to throw hard and hope to bounce it around. As hard as he can throw it a pin, you never know. He zipped it, and it bounced, but it just didn't bounce in the right direction.
So we have a new ball game.
I'll be asking for another re-rack on lane 59, and Mr. Golden has to go over and take a look at it.
Albee and Cook lead by 2 as Harry Golden does take a look.
And again, Albee will tell him, he'll say, Harry, I think the 2 pin is off or the 5 pin is off. And evidently Harry agrees with him. He's giving him the re-rack. Now, the reason Harry has to come over now is the team has already used up their allotted 3 racks per game. So, I mean, anything after that, the tournament director has to approve it.
And, Mike, here's the situation. 7th frame. Albee and Cook lead by 2. They're open in the 6th. Bellinger and Milton working on a spare.
And we've been wanting a close match all year long. Maybe we're finally getting it, huh? They've been in the 1-2 pocket, though. They haven't missed. Albee's left a 6 and a 7.
Yep. Jumps up in the air. He knew he had it. All right. A big, big strike for the team of Albee and Cook. And they lead it by 2 against Bellinger and Milton. We'll come back. At stake, $25,000. Tom Milton's team is down by 2. He's got the ball in his hands. 7th frame action. Bellinger and Milton working on a spare.
Albee showing such reaction to a single strike is a psychological move, I believe, to try and pump up his team to overcome that bad break of that 7-10. Right now, Milton and Bellinger have their best opportunity of the match to get back in the match. And something's happened off to Milton's left, and he puts the ball down, and I don't know what happened over there, but there was some distraction, and he did the wise thing. But you don't see Tom get irritated at all, but he was definitely irritated.
And last night, 24 bowlers, all kinds of noise and everything. Nothing bothers you. But today, there's so much on the line.
Well, we've got 70 lanes on this side of the house, and there's only 2 people or 2 lanes going and only 4 people bowling, so you can hear everything.
And you're in a tunnel. All right, let's see what Tommy can do. He is 9 of 13 strikes.
Excellent concentration. Look at those eyes. Right there.
Yep. Oh,
That's
yeah. Boy, they back in it. Oh, Tom Milton.
But again, the key is this man coming up right now is Jeff Bellinger. He has not hit the 1-3 pocket on lane 59 yet. And he has the 2 biggest frames of his life coming up. His opportunity to get into the Tournament of Champions. see what kind of an adjustment he makes. I personally think that he probably needs to move further left yet, to move another board or two left on that approach, maybe one with his target, and try and throw the frozen rope in there. Time for that double to take the lead. Looks good.
Oh,
it
yes,
is.
a
He
great
made that
shot.
adjustment. What an adjustment. I don't know what he did, but it worked.
A double going for Bellinger and Milton. And now
Up by 8 pins, and now it's getting down. Fingernail biting time. Cook, who's great under pressure, too.
Steve Cook had that 7-10 split back in the 6th. Now his team is down 8. They led by as many as 15. Back in the 6th. Now his team is down 8. They led by as many as 15.
Cooks can give his team back the lead if he can strike here. Put him up by 2 with a double. Takes a lot of time in these pressure situations. Sends it out. Here it comes.
Oh, yes.
It's a 7-pin out of there.
Look at that reaction. Oh, he allowed to hurt Albee.
I'll tell you, Albee held up his right hand, not his left.
He allowed to hurt him. Oh, you got to love the reaction. Albee's so cool. He got excited. Cook is just a wild man.
Don't you find it fascinating how people are so different? You know, your partners.
Oh, it's great.
You know, in marriage, it seems like opposites always attractive.
Yep.
It seems like it's doing this in doubles too.
All right, let's see if Albee can keep it going. His team.
Ironically,
With a
Albee must strike here to keep Bellinger and Milton from having the opportunity of striking out and closing them out. Increase the lead to 12 with one more. He's high.
Yeah,
What a break!
Oh my goodness!
What a break!
A turkey. Steve Cook still walking around, getting excited. Oh,
And Tom Milton's doing the wise thing. The breaks have gone their way, Albee's way, and Cook's way the last 2 frames. Nudging out the 7 and crossing over here, getting a Brooklyn strike. The 2-pin going to the wall and tripping out the 4. Milton, to try and change things a little bit, asked for a re-rack. I don't know if he needed it or not. He just wants to take a little more time. He's got to have this one. He can cut it back to 2 pins with a strike here.
what a great reaction. Once again, they've done a tremendous job down here. Jack Cook, the manager of the Showboat Bowling Center. Judy Moore, the general manager of the hotel and casino. Outstanding job. All right, let's see what Milton can do. 9th frame, down by 12.
This is for his partner right here. He's got to have it. A little off balance. High
Yep.
carried. Oh, man, that ball held pocket all the way.
Beautiful shot. At stake, $25,000, and the pressure and all the drama, it's right here.
And it comes down really the way it should. Jeff Bellinger wants to get in the Tournament of Champions. Whether he does or not is going to largely depend upon what he does in this frame, in the 10th frame. They're down by 2 pins. Their potential is 234 if they strike all the way out. Albee and Cook's potential is 236. So it's whoever can perform here in the 10th frame that's going to win. Albee's finished. Milton's finished. It's up to Bellinger and Cook. Lets it go. It's high.
Yes.
3, 9, 10 again. And it just was a hard shot to have to throw. He's got to make it. He's down 5 pins. If he makes it, he has to make the split.
Once again, Mike, you move over to pick this up. Why don't you describe the shot that he must make?
He's going to move more to his left. He had practice at it before. He's got to move further left than he did the time before. And it's off spot again, I think. No, he's going to shoot it. He's decided he's going to shoot it. He's got to move a little further left, give it a little more room to try and hit the 3-pin on the right. With his ball, if he can hit the 3-pin on the right, I don't think he'll make it.
Yeah, what a shot!
That's going to make Cook mark.
The 3, 9, 10. Oh. Let's take a look, Mike.
Look at the concentration. Over the target, way out on that lane. The ball's going to hit every pin. Perfect shot. The ball finishes and then splits the 9-10.
Boy, you talk about somebody competing hard.
We could have a tie. I mean,
Yes,
anything's
we
still
could.
potential. 211 if he strikes on the fill ball. Cook and Albee are definitely going to need a mark in that 10th frame. Tie again.
It is high.
3-6 finishes with 209. He just lost that left lane except for one frame.
But what a shot on the 3-9-10 pickup. They finished with 209. The situation then.
Situation is Cook needs some kind of mark and a good count in the 10th frame to win it for he and Albee.
He is a pressure player.
One of the best. What he's looking for, though, is a strike. He hasn't missed the pocket on this lane at all. But if he leaves a 7-pin, they've had trouble with that spare in the past. Right now, Albee's watching on. Tammy and Candy are watching on. And it's all up to Steve Cook. Sends it out. Here it comes. And that's it.
What a shot. There's the reaction. 6'7" Steve Cook, 5'9" Mike Albee. They're the winners. $25,000. Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's not over yet. He's got to finish. He can't quit now.
So it is a little premature. We still got some wood to get chopped here. Let's take a look at this shot.
Just has to put it. He couldn't have thrown it any better. Right over the target. Good lift and turn. Goes out to about the 5th board. Finishes solid in the 1-2 pocket. Absolutely perfect shot.
Big cranker.
Now he just needs to stay behind the line, keep the ball in the lane, and that'll be it. That's enough.
That's it.
Leaves the 7. Their winner.
For Mike Durbin, this is Irv Brown. Thanks for joining us.